I'm gonna tell you an uncomfortable truth that you're probably not ready to hear. Building a physique that you love should feel simple. If you've trained the right way, you don't chase it. You stop hunting for the perfect program. You just keep showing up and your body has no choice but to change. People stop scrolling past you and they start asking you how you did it. So if you've been training for months, maybe years, and you've got 40 saved workouts, but your body still looks the same, listen close. It's not some secret skill progression that you're missing. It's not an advanced split that some gifted guys are hiding from you. You're stuck for one reason. Your body and your mind is not aligned yet. You've never given any one thing enough time to actually work. You don't really know what level you're training for. And somewhere deep down, you've already decided that a body like that isn't meant for someone like you. I know that one stings because the kid in those old photos couldn't do a single pull-up. Skinny, depressed, failing school, addicted to video games. So in this video, I'm gonna show you the actual psychology behind building a physique that people beg for. This is the part nobody talks about, right? So the first thing is training and not transforming. You're not stuck because you train too little or pick the wrong exercises. You're not lazy and you're not stupid, trust me. You're stuck because you treat working out and building this physique as a task that you have to tick off, instead of trying to become the person that you want to become. Adding more sets, adding more reps, doing a new program, that's effort with nothing behind it. The fix was never to do more. It's to look at the person in the mirror and be like, I want this to change and I'll do absolutely anything to make that happen. When I first started training because I saw Chris Herrier on YouTube, I didn't even start to do my first workout, but I already knew that I'll become like him because this guy was Asian and he started off really rough. So I knew that I had all the tools at my disposal to make it happen, but I had to actually make that change inside my mind before I even did the work. You need that because if you just do the work, you're just gonna become a zombie and nothing's actually gonna get laid out. So trust me, the solution is not to grind harder, because when I was doing 1,000 push-ups a day, all that got me was injury and a really sloppy physique. The second thing is doing isn't being. People see a clean muscle up or a lean physique and the first thing that comes out of the mouth is, what workout program did you use? What's your split? What's your diet like? As if it's some kind of secret. It never is. Like, you can take my program, you can take my diet, you can follow my exact split right now, and trust me when I say this, you'll only get a tiny fraction of my results, because what you're looking at isn't a routine. It's 8 years of training as someone that will never take no as an answer. I trained through injury, I trained through burnouts, exams, work. The planche, which was my dream skill, took me over 5 years to even get. So doing what I do won't make you become the person that you want to be. Just because you've bought the best pot doesn't make you a good chef. When I was training for the planche, I was admiring a calisthenics athlete called Valentin, and I followed his exact program, and guess where that got me? Absolutely nowhere, because it wasn't transferable to my progress. In order for me to get to where I wanted to go, I had to just have a mindset that was all or nothing. It's either I stay in the same position, become a completely new person. There is no middle ground. There is no lukewarm. I could build you the perfect program, but if you don't follow it to a T and you don't actually believe in the change yourself, it's all gonna go down the drain. It's all about who you become over time, not the next program. Building a physique that everybody wants is just keeping a promise to yourself, rep after rep, until your body has no choice but to keep up. Delusional commitment, but repeated until something is forced to change. You can't speed run a friendship. You can't speed up a physique. Both are earned slowly. Demanding results in week 2 is like meeting someone at a random place and then trying to ask them for like $100 to fuel your car. It's just weird. But if you show up the way that you'll show up for a real friendship and build it over time, it's the same as your body. You'll start to slowly make changes. So there are 4 psychological shifts that will build your physique that people actually beg for. 1 is you become the authority on your own body. 2, you need to kill the belief that you need to start gifted. 3, you become someone you actually look up to. And number 4 is you train with no strings attached, and I'll run you through each one. So to become the authority on your own body, you need to understand all the fundamentals so you can become your own coach. Most guys that are stuck outsource the whole knowledge base on 40 different guys on the internet. You see random reels every single week when you're on lunch break and you're scrolling. Oh, this guy's a tutorial on this for handstand. This guy has another tutorial for this on planche, and they're like different. You'll never progress like that. So you need to deep dive into the fundamentals and learn them so well that you can become your own coach. Hollow body, straight arm strength, the 3 phases of pull-up, how to do a handstand properly. The quality of your basics is the ceiling of your physique. If you skip the boring foundations and just think, oh, the advanced stuff, they'll just come later, then you'll be mega surprised when they don't. Your physique will look like the basics that you've neglected. And the second you actually understand the reasoning behind why you do a movement is the moment that you stop becoming the guy that scrolls through tutorials and you become the guy that people ask for help at the park. So let me break it down like this. When it comes to doing the basic fundamentals for handstands, pull-ups, dips, and just all the greatest exercises for building a strong physique, you just want to build the foundations. But the thing is, this has already been done before. Like, how else do you expect all these elite athletes to exist? So out there, someone has created, so across my 8 years of calisthenics, I created a system that I've shown clients to improve. And this is across a sample space of 300 to 500 clients that I've coached. Everyone does something differently, but you just need to stick to one single method. And for 90% of my clients, it has worked. But trust me, if you don't learn the basics correctly, then when you do the advanced stuff, you're gonna build bad habits that take even longer to undo. So I've actually put together a 7-day skill plan. The link is at the top of the description. And if you drop your name and email, I'll send it to you in a few minutes. Honestly, it's better just to get that out of the way so that you can start to do cool shit. The number one thing that is keeping you stuck isn't physical, it's belief. Oh, calisthenics is for young, lean, 15-year-old dudes that can train every single day. They're genetically gifted, and it's not for someone like me. Every time you see physique that you like, you protect your ego by saying that, oh, they have something that I don't have. More time, a head start, better genetics. But the moment that you decide that I can't do that, you stop trying, because what's the point? So look at my client Cam. He was absolutely chopped and he couldn't even do a muscle up, couldn't even do a handstand at all. He was skinny, depressed. And after doing coaching, he competed in his first competition, still failed. He did a second competition, failed again. And on his third competition, he was champion. And throughout the process, he was able to create the physique that he always wanted. And those people whose body you envy started exactly where you are right now. And if you're like 35 to 40, you're busy and you think, oh, this isn't for me. I work a 9 to 5, I have 2 kids, I have to cook and clean and do all this stuff. My client, Christina, she started off overweight. She couldn't do a single pull-up. And there was this woman that said, oh, you can't do pull-ups. Pull-ups are for skinny people. Well, she decided, just because I'm running a business, I've got 2 kids and I'm overweight, doesn't mean I can create the body that I wanted. So she lost the weight. She did coaching with me, and I'm going to 4 pull-ups. She unlocked like a 50-second handstand. Now she's a 49-year-old and she's still able to do all this stuff. These are people like you, same starting point, with real life, real responsibilities. And guess what? They get real results. Now this next part sounds a little bit contradictory, because I told you to relate to the version of you that was skinny, depressed, or you're busy and you're a little bit overweight, but it's the contrast between the two that matters. So you get to decide who you want to become. Right now, there's 2 options: stay where you are right now, or become the person that you've always dreamt of. Delusional commitment is a belief in something that hasn't happened yet. Your whole life, you've been Peter Parker, a little shy kid, and you're not able to build up the confidence to ask out your girl, or you're just putting on clothes to shelter your physique. But inside, you've always wanted to be Spider-Man. And you don't have to show everyone that. You can keep your identity secret, but in your own mind, you need to have delusional commitment that you will become that version, and eventually it will catch up, and then things will change on the outside. But first has to start on the inside. So this practically carries over to the way that you train, the way that you eat, how you carry yourself, how you show up as the guy that has already achieved the physique, and all that's separating you from here and here is the work. So my life the past few years has been walking twice a day, cooking good foods, training, not drinking, not doing drugs, because I'm acting like the version of myself that I want to become. And those are the thoughts and practices that guy does. Someone said to me, stop negotiating with your past self. If you've time traveled and you went into the future, you met your future self and you became that version. If you go back to the past and now you meet your loser self right now, and then you start doing the things that you were doing when you were hanging out with your future self, like, walking, training, this kind of stuff, that kind of stuff. If your old self started complaining and be like, oh, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, would you negotiate with them? Would you make compromises? Or you'd be like, fuck man, I saw who you were 5 years into the future. Why can't you be like that guy? So start acting like that now. This part is interesting. Most people train conditionally. They go to the gym and they're like, okay, where are my abs now? I just put in that work. And 2 weeks later, the body still looks the same. And like, what? There's no results. I'm gonna quit. this isn't a fair transaction. That neediness is the reason why their results don't stick. You gotta train like it's just who you are now. There's no instant gratification. You need zero expectation of a payoff. You show up because that's in your contract, not because you're owed something. Imagine if you're asking a boss for a bonus or a raise. You won't beg him every single week. No, you need to put in the results. You need to gain that trust, and maybe at the end of the year, then you get your $2,000. If you want to build the body that you always wanted, don't pray for a lighter workout, a lighter load, pray for a stronger back. And here's the cruel irony. The moment you start demanding results and you just train because that's just who you are, the results, they'll actually turn up. It's just funny how the universe works. And it doesn't stop, like it just keeps coming and coming and coming. So in order for you to achieve what you want, you need to do all 4 of these psychological shifts. You need to own the basics, kill your excuses, become someone you actually look up to, train with no strings attached, and stop being someone chasing a physique. Become someone who already has one. Jeez, that was a long video, but I'm gonna go ahead and do exactly what I said. Get my cardio in, cook my food, hit my workout. Let's get it.